Hey there, everyone. Welcome back. Boy, that SOS RNG took a lot out of me, so I decided to take a little break and take a vacation to go fishing. Yeah, that's right. Fishing RNG is, in fact, something you can also manipulate with the RNG processes that we already kind of have. But it is a little bit different, so we're going to go over that. Starting to reach the end of our topics here, but this one is a fairly quick one, so we'll go into it. I've already kind of gotten in game. I've already gotten settled in. I'm in Calais. Oh boy, the name always escapes me. Calais Bay. And let's go ahead and we'll bring up our tool now. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, I've already kind of been doing some searching, but let's clear things out. Get things ready. All right, so fishing. Perfect. Fishing. Here we are. So there's this button over here, overview. In general, you want to kind of ignore this. Leave it unchecked since you're using frames. You're actually using a RNG tool. But just so you know, lead you can check to see synchronized, whatever. If you have something with suction cups or sticky hold, make sure you note that, because if you have a Pokemon in the lead with one of those abilities, you will always get a bite. And that's important because it'll give you a lot more frames to work with. Leave the rate alone, obviously level alone. Make sure you got the right spot. Is it raining? Is it day, night? What is it? Leave the bite delay alone as well. The bite delay is part of the whole RNG process. It determines how long after the animation that you'll actually get a bite. So keep that in mind, but leave it be. There are some occasions when the first time you go to an area and fish there, the bite delay is different from normal, but after you fish there once, it'll go back to what the default value is. So just leave it be for whatever spot you're in. Make sure you got the right location as well. And then if you're going to a bubbling one, which I'll show you, yep, we're looking at a bubbling one right here. If it's bubbling, make sure you check that, because that does change the table. Like for instance, if we are not in a bubbling spot, Shelter is a 5% encounter. But since it's bubbling, Shelter jumps up to a 35% chance of an encounter. So just a note. And then here, of course, same stuff we've always seen. And then, of course, we got our frame range and all that fun stuff. One thing to note, delay. So if you are not mounted, not on a Lapras, the delay is always -2. If you are on a Lapras, delay is 0. That's all you need to know. And then make sure you adjust for NPCs and everything. The rest of this is all fairly standard. I chose this particular spot because there's no NPCs around, so we could just go ahead and create our timeline. So we've already got our timeline, we've already got our seed in here, and we're going to look for a Shelter, because that's the rarest encounter, and we can actually use a bubbling geyser here to make it easier. So the way Fishing RNG works is we're going to create our timeline. Let's go check shiny only, calculate. So note here, you see, you're not seeing the normal blues like you see here. You see this. Now the way Fishing RNG works is you have frame 1. Frame 1 is when you hit the A button to actually start fishing. You see. All right, here we go. See, there's an A. You hit the A button at frame 1, and it'll cast the line. But then, at frame 2, you'll have a bite, and that's when you hit A to pull back the rod, and that's when you get what you wanted. Now, all these gray areas, this is going to be an item, and so there's a whole bunch of information. I'll link the items list, but you can actually specifically fish to get a specific item. And it is useful because if you're in like Ultra Moon, Ultra Sun, you can actually fish up like gold bottle caps and stuff like that. So fairly rare things. And if you manipulate your RNG that way, hey, more power to you. But I'm only interested in shinies. Oh yeah, but one last thing. Special only, if you choose that, it will only display the items. It won't display any of the Pokemon. And the whole reason that IVs and everything are listed is because theoretically, there would be a Pokemon encounter there, but you can safely ignore it and just worry about this slot. And the slot is a random number from 0 to 100, and that determines what item you get. Just so you know. But yeah, so we're only interested in shinies, and specifically we want a shelter, so I'm going to go ahead and put shelter in there. Counter slot 3. So here we go. This is slot 1. This is frame 1. That's when you cast. This is frame 2 when you pull it up. Now I happen to have already tested this particular seed out, and I know that these, due to a blink frame, are not actually viable. So we're going to actually go for somewhere in this. Now you'll note that these all have different start times, but they have the exact same endpoint, which all lead to the exact same shelter. So that's something to note. There are in fact quite a few options usually when you are going for a Pokemon. So you if you miss the first frame window, you can probably go for the next one. Just keep in mind that the bite delay, sometimes this one isn't actually going to work, and this one would. So keep that in mind. In general, this is all there is to it. So anyways, I'm going for this is my target. So set it as your target frame. When you note that the target frame is actually this. I'll recalculate just so we can see it. Interesting here. Since this is negative 150, negative 84, and then these two are negative 6, that makes me think that this is actually, there's a blink frame or something that'll mess things up, but we're still gonna give this a try. So yeah, worst comes to worst, we go to the last one. But I'll go ahead and we're gonna get progressing, and I will catch up with you all in a few seconds. Hey there, everyone. We're back. One thing I've noticed, as soon as I got close to the frame, there is a long, it's a blink frame or something, so we're going to bypass this. We're going to go straight to 35474. Yeah, you can see right here. So we're going to try to cast at 35474, and then we'll pick up at 35575. Alright, so let's just advance. We'll go ahead and advance a little bit. Quite a bit. Yeah, this is a long frame, and these blink frames always create these like delays, and I don't like to deal with that, so we're just gonna skip all that. Alright. Alright, 7-2, 7-3, 7-4. Alright, so here we are, we're at the right frame, so we hold down A and we advance. And it starts the cast. So now, at this point, we're looking for 35575. That's the point where we're going to withdraw the rod. And hopefully, if everything goes right, we'll have seen a bite at that point. And we'll just hold A, and we should get our encounter. So, I'm going to advance a little bit. A little bit. I don't want to overshoot, but at the same time, I don't want to wait forever, because advancing 100 frames manually is pretty slow. Oh, yep, and okay, there's a long frame in there again. But hopefully this doesn't affect things too much. Just keep advancing. Slowly but surely. And we'll make sure that we didn't... Yep, tool's still working. Yeah, I have to keep double checking this. Alright, there we go, our frame's starting to advance again. Oh, alright, so I think we got a bite. Unfortunately, it's going to be very noisy. I apologize for this. Just imagine cool beach island noises. Yeah, you can hear that. And that's the sound of a bite. You can also see the exclamation point above my character's head. But yeah, we want to get to the specific... Oh, yep, okay. Tool froze on me. Happens. That's why we go slow. Slow and steady. Wins the race. But yeah, we still want to wait till the right frame. Alright, 70, 71, 72, 74, 75. Alright, so now we hold down A and we advance. And, alright, at that point we should be all set. I'm going to set my RNG tool to wild, and we're going to go off. Alright, great. We got an encounter. Let's see. Alright, I could already update the tool and see it. Yeah, there we go. So we got our shiny shelter. And looking at its stats, 5, 13, 0, 20, 26. That looks exactly what we were looking for. I'll bring up the tool again to show you. Yep, exactly what we wanted. So there we go. That's Fishing RNG, and that's so essentially no matter where you are, just make sure your delay is set correct. -2 if you're on foot, 0 if you're on a lapras, and then cast at frame 1, pull back at frame 2, and sometimes it won't be right. Sometimes the bite calculation isn't, and the tool isn't perfect, so it'll say that something will be a legit frame, but you won't actually get a bite. You know, there's one way to get over that. Make sure you have a suction cup Pokemon in your lead, and then you'll never have to worry about not getting a bite. Alright, let's go ahead and throw a quick ball at this thing. We'll capture it, and we're going to move on. So yeah, that's all there is to fishing. It's a really short one. I was planning on doing a really short video after the heck that was the SOS RNG, but the next one I'm going to do is going to be the big one. That's something that's only applicable to Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and that is the Wormhole Legendaries. But I'm going to be going into a new method of RNG, and that's called Timeline Leaps. So that one should be exciting. It's a big one because you can get some really, really powerful legendaries through it. So I will catch you all next time. But until then, enjoy this lovely orange shelter, and I will see you next time.